Shalom is real. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the elect. And I want to get into this lesson based upon this article where you have this guy, as it says, de Blasio, or this the guy, he's the mayor of New York. It's his administration announces new IDNYC program benefits ahead of 5-year anniversary. Now, as I read the article, you'll see, of course, as always, as they everything in this place, they paint it as something beneficial for you, when really it's beneficial for them, and really it's hurtful for you. All right, now it says this article came out October 29th, 2019. That was what, 2 days ago, Monday or yesterday, because today's the 30th. It says nation's largest municipal ID program introduces IDNYC middle school card. New and returning benefits partners include major museums, performing arts centers, zoos, botanical gardens, and cultural institutions in all 5 boroughs. The de Blasio administration today announced the launch of the IDNYC renewal campaign, new and returning benefit partners, and the IDNYC middle school card, with the 5th anniversary of the IDNYC program approaching and the first set of cards set to expire beginning in January 2020. The program has also introduced a new card design and a comprehensive citywide advertising and targeted outreach campaign to promote renewals. IDNYC is the largest and most successful municipal ID program in the country, with over 1.3 million cardholders. IDNYC has helped more than 1.3 million New Yorkers access the best our city has to offer, said Mayor de Blasio. Over the last 5 years, IDNYC has become the largest and most successful municipal ID program in the nation because of this commitment to accessibility and inclusion, and this new expansion will ensure even more New Yorkers can participate. Now, with this new system, it basically puts New York in the realm of a smart city, in which, through the spirit, as I'm reading it, it could be to where, it's like a trial and error, because Esau does everything as far as a trial and error to see, because New York is a huge city. All right, so to see how all these other smaller cities may take it, So it says IDNYC has helped more. I think I read that, Salakia. Reading down, it says IDNYC represents this administration's unwavering commitment to equity and inclusion for all New Yorkers, said J. Philip Thompson, deputy mayor for strategic policy initiatives. IDNYC makes this city more accessible for all, regardless of their circumstances. I commend all the new advancements of the program, and am excited to set the expansion of our benefit partners in 2020. We are thrilled to celebrate 5 years of expanding opportunity for all through the IDNYC program, with new additions and innovations that make IDNYC even more accessible and beneficial to New Yorkers, said Bita Mistofi, commissioner of the mayor's office of immigrant affairs. With renewals kicking off this December, we are proud to partner with vibrant cultural institutions across the 5 boroughs as we welcome returning and new cardholders to the program. IDNYC is more than an identification card. It's a key to the countless resources and cultural experiences New York City has to offer. Thanks to our partnership, IDNYC will be available to more students directly in their schools, expanding opportunity for students to explore the city and reaffirming their identities as New Yorkers. I encourage our students to take advantage, said school's chancellor Richard A. Carranza. You know? But this, as we know with everything, this devil speaks with a forked tongue. Alright? So with everything, nice and good looking on the surface, you gotta look deeper into it, man. As the old saying goes, is it too good to be true? Alright? Now, as I said, when you get on the flip side, alright, there's another article I found because I was, trying to get more information on what is IDNYC. So it says smart cities are creating a mass surveillance nightmare. Alright. Now this is going into let me see. The IDNYC program. Now it says more than 1 million New Yorkers could soon willingly agree to carry a government-issued tracking device, whether they realize it or not. That's the proposal from Mayor de Blasio, who, having recently returned from the cornfield-dotted campaign trail in Iowa, is setting his sights on transforming New York City into something out of a dystopian sci-fi novel. But some critics are urging caution about the move. All roads lead to you taking that RFID chip. Now it's what's the word I'm looking for? Now you can choose to take it, but soon you won't be able to. If you don't take it, you're an enemy of the state. That's how Esau is going to paint the picture. The fuss is about a tiny RFID chip that the mayor wants to embed into each and every municipal ID card for New York residents as part of the IDNYC program. The latest proposal might seem modest, but the reality is that it potentially puts hundreds of thousands of us at greater risk of identity theft, stalking, and for undocumented New Yorkers, deportation. And that's the thing. Well, it's going to go into it. It says, sadly, it's part of the global trend towards so-called smart cities. Slacky. A series of high-tech undertakings that claim to improve municipal efficiency at the modest prices of stripping us of our privacy and autonomy. And that's what people don't understand. They think the chip is something that's going to be something of benign or just something that you don't really have to worry about. Esau is going to come down, as the scriptures say, having great wrath. Now again, even the author of this article even said that, he's making it seem like it's modest, but really it puts you, all right, the recipient of the RFID card, in danger. But that's what people don't understand. Goes on to say it be a dubious trade-off if the technology delivered, but increasingly we see that these systems take more than we feared while delivering far less than we were promised. And that's everything in this place, man. It says smart city proponents claim that by integrating the Internet of Things, artificial intelligence, and networks of sensors that we can make our children smarter, our commutes faster, and even save lives. The outlandish claims don't end there. Smart cities are heralded as the solution of everything from the opioid crisis to de facto school segregation. And that's what Akim been saying, man. That Esau is going to push this chip as a solution, as the solution to everything wrong in this world. Okay? Perhaps the most outlandish claim yet is that knockoff RoboCops will even prevent crimes before they even happen. The movement is only in its infancy, but smart city programs already include every municipal service from schools to hospitals to sanitation to law enforcement. And those outside major cities aren't exempt either. Increasingly, towns, big and small, are being taken in by the promise of a data-driven society. Okay? And as the scriptures say, The scriptures tell us about our enemy. The so-called white man, Esau Edom, is your enemy. All right. If you don't believe that, just turn on the news and you see a Jake getting shot down by none other than a so-called white man and then an Edomite. All right. So this is Sirach 10:8. No, 12 and it's like 12 and 10. It says, never, never, never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Though he humble himself and go crouching, all right, Esau's humbling himself, all right, to tell you all the great things that this IDNYC system holds. Yet take a heed and beware of him, and thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped a looking glass. You know, look at everything else in life that Esau has promised you. You know, that's supposed to be a grand. All right, you know. All right, the American dream that he promised you that this place, America is supposed to be a peachy keen, man. But you jakes are all on the bottom, getting shot down every day, forced to work for pennies. Okay. You know, ain't nothing sweet here in this place, man. Everything is to your hurt. All right, just something simple as, you know, say you get a car or whatever. You know, Esau is basically like a salesman. This man is a salesman. You know, he takes you on a ride in a car. He's talking your head off. You know, oh, this car can do this and can do that for the low price of this. You know, but 6 months down the line, when you got to get an oil change or you got to change a tire for $1,000, you know, he ain't tell you all that. You know, and that's everything in this place, man. On one hand, you know, it's presented unto you as something beneficial for you, but on the other hand, it's really not. You know, as I say that, it also makes me think of I was watching the show brothers been talking about Game Changers. You know, and here it is. Even Arnold Schwarzenegger was saying that Esau pushes you to eat meat, it's healthy for you, but that's for his agenda. It's really not for your agenda, man. When he knows that a plant-based diet, all right, is the way to go. You know, so it says, and thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust have not been altogether wiped away. All right, and we, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, are showing you that his rust has not been altogether wiped away. You know, by countless articles, as I said, you know, where Jake is getting shot down. All right, you Hispanics are getting deported. All right, the Native Americans. All right, and really all the tribes, so-called Black, Hispanics, and Native Americans. All right, you're still asking for reparations. Meanwhile, Esau's, you know, freely giving out reparations to these homosexuals. All right, freely giving them rights, but you can't get nothing, man. As a matter of fact, if you even try to protest, Esau's going to shoot you down, man. You know, so this place is not for you. It never was, and it never will be. Okay? You really got to be cynical towards this place, man. To where most people might say, oh, you a grouch. Well, you know, if we're a grouch, it's because Esau has made us that way. All right? It says the privacy risk is hard to overstate. Government agencies, oh, that's another thing, man. He take away your regular, you know, cards or whatever, your bank cards, and give you these cards with these chips, telling you that it's going to be more private for you. All right. Meanwhile, you know, it can still be hacked. Okay. And anything connected to the internet can be hacked. Anybody knows that. All right. It says the privacy risk is hard to overstate. Government agencies will have increasing amounts of extremely sensitive data about our health, our children's school performance, and where we spend our free time. Go to the bar, the smart city knows. Go to a protest, it probably knows that too. And so will anyone who hacks in. Hacking isn't some theoretical risk. It's already happened. As early as 2014, security researchers starting raising the alarm that critical city systems were unencrypted and completely vulnerable to attack. The same year, the Department of Homeland Security admitted that hackers had broken into a public utility by simply guessing the password. More recently, we've seen entire cities held hostage by hackers. Both Baltimore and Atlanta saw later swaths of their governments grind to a halt when attackers used ransomware to encrypt government computer systems, demanding a large payment in exchange for the key. Resistance Residents lost access to everything from online bill payments to deed transfers and even court scheduling. In the case of Baltimore, not only was the city out of action for weeks by the attack, but crucial data was permanently lost. And that could be something that's coming real soon, man, because the scriptures say, terror shall make him afraid on every side. All right. So aside from an actual physical terrorist attack, you could have, you could have somebody hack the government, man. Who knows? Because this place is about to fall hard, man. As the scripture goes, a time that was never before seen upon earth. Disturbingly, for those whose health and financial data is held in these systems, hackers can just as easily post what they find in public. As the Wall Street Journal recently noted, the more connected a city is, the more vulnerable it is to cyber attacks. Even with the best security protections, cities can eliminate the threat, not as long as we continue to collect the data. Sadly, for many smart projects, privacy protections are not just an unwanted expense, but an existential threat. After all, even though these systems are sold with the promise of promoting government efficiency, the true product is often the public itself and all our data. Ventures like Firefly and Link NYC use public location data to do what so many tech ventures have done. All right, it says better targeting their ads. Smart cities create a captive, highly segmented audience ready to be told what they need to buy. But the dangers don't end with the exploitation of surveillance capitalism. As these systems are increasingly integrated into city services, we run the risk of automating age-old biases and further discriminating against marginalized communities. Some of the most visible examples to date have stemmed from the use of racially biased facial recognition in law enforcement and racially or socioeconomically biased algorithms in child risk assessments. The risks likely go even further than what we can imagine, and that was it. Let's see. Yeah, it's just two more paragraphs, so I'm gonna just read it. It says, rather than accept the New York's new chip proposal, advocates are speaking out, and now the New York City Council is considering a bill that will outlaw this type of feature. If the bill passes, it would be a milestone in the backlash against smart cities and a clear signal we need to slow down and think more clearly about implementations before accidentally rushing into a dystopian future we can't come back from. Okay? But that's the future of America. All right? So where everybody will be chipped. Let's get the chip scripture. We bring this out so much. All right? Because what? It says, and he calls it all, Revelations 13:19, and he calls it, who is he? All right? Ultimately, it's the elites that run America, the whole world. Both small and great, rich and poor, all across the world. We see China, we see Sweden. All right? Free and bond to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. All right? And he's going to cause, because here it is, you have all across the world, but it's like, it's really supposed to have been here first. But it's always some type of backlash or something to stop it. So Esau is going to get violent, man. To where if you don't take this chip, I'm going to put you to death. That's considered the hour of temptation. That goes into Revelations 12:12. All right? Rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell. All right? is that no man might buy or sell. All right. Say if he that had the mark, you gotta pay your bills, right? Most people think this way. Or the name or the beast or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him that have understanding count the number of the beast. For it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. And let's see what happens if you take that chip. Because you not only become a soldier, all right, which you voluntarily give your spirit unto Esau, the Most High is not fuck with you no more. Revelations 14:9, and the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast in his image, and receive his mark in his forehead. And how do you prove that you're going to worship the beast? By physically receiving, all right, an RFID chip in your forehead, on your hand, basically in anywhere in your body, all right, and that's what it's going to come to. The same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of God, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation. All right, so you're going to get a whole dose of destruction, no chasing. And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels, and in the presence of the Lamb. And the smoke of their torment ascended up forever and ever, and they have no rest day nor night, who worship the beast in his image, or whosoever receiveth the mark of his name. And the Most High, hey, he's going to do it. He's going to leave your spirit, all right, in your body for however long he chooses to, so you can feel that pain in the ICBM nuclear missiles, because you ultimately you disrespected him, man. You ultimately chose Esau, Edom, this life, all right, over Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. Hey, so with that, don't take that chip. Shalom to the elect.